Hello, hello. My name is Angela Brooks, and I am a Nurse to Network Marketing podcast. I haven't done a podcast in a very long time, and I thought I would get on here and talk about why leaders are changing companies, because it seems to be a very hot topic, especially since after 11 and a half years. That's what I did starting May 1st. I changed companies, and there has been a lot of strange reactions to me and my family changing directions. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about that because I can write a blog post, I can write post on social media, but I don't think you hear the same as you do when you're hearing it from my voice personally. So I just wanted to get on and just kind of share a little bit of the story and why people actually make changes in their life, and give you a little backstory that I started in network marketing in 1999. Very green, had no idea what I was doing, and I didn't have anybody to follow because back then everybody was still setting up at flea markets and festivals and going to Chamber of Commerce meetings and doing presentations. And the ladies group, yes, I did all these, to the ladies group and speaking as a guest speaker. I've spoke on lots of stages in the beginning, just trying to get myself out there because I thought that's how you did it, right? And actually in 99, that's how you did. It was in person. Everything was in-home meetings. It was before the internet really kicked itself open, and it was very different to get into a very wide, large group of people. So when the internet hit, that came around in 2008-ish. And then I think I got on Facebook in 2008, I believe it was. So it was a wide open market. People weren't talking about products and business then. And so I joined a company. Well, I've been in several companies, but like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. Two of them went under. One of them changed names, changed products. And it was like, I couldn't understand none of that. So I kept looking for a product that resonated with me. And blindly, a lot of people join companies because they just don't know that it's important to know who you're under, who your uplines are, who your community is. And people used to say all the time, is your upline doesn't matter. And I totally believe different. Your upline does matter, because if you don't have anybody supporting you or somebody that you can go to and ask questions, you're out there flopping around like a fish, and it can get very discouraging, and people quit when they are alone or when they don't know what the hell they're doing. So 2010, I joined a company, and I was with them for 11 and a half years. So I am not a company jumper. I found a place that I enjoyed. I built a organization that at one time was 15,000 people. When I left, it was already down to 9,000 and plummeting. I generated $1 million in commissions in that company. So I was above average what most people see or experience inside the network marketing industry. A lot of people just barely make enough money that they pay for their product each month. But I reached out and hired my first business coach, which was like in 2012, I think it was. And from there, I just kept hiring. As my money grew, I would hire another coach. I stayed with that particular coach for like almost 3 years. And when I no longer resonated with that coach, I found somebody else that I enjoyed working with. And I didn't stay with coaches more than a year. That, for average was about a year, because I didn't want to just hear one person's voice, I thought. So, and then I hired Ray Higdon, and I was with him for almost 5 years. Learned a ton of things from Ray Higdon. Met and was introduced through his audience a lot of amazing people. Spoke on his stage. Since then, I have spoke on other company network marketing stages. I've been interviewed on podcasts, in magazines, and numerous of different things. So network marketing has been very good to me, and I have experienced things beyond most people's experience of what network marketing is. The first thing everybody wants to scream is, "Oh my God, it is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme." And I'm like, no, we actually have products. We actually sell things, and we are compensated for things that we sell. And there's different comp plans. So that was something else that I didn't know anything about, and the importance of daily pay. I was with a company for years that, you got paid once a month. And I just thought that was normal. That was okay with me. I was very grateful that I was getting paid to do what I was having fun doing. And then I learned, as the industry grows and you're exposed to more people, you learn different things that that you like better. I mean, there's nothing wrong with learning and doing something different. I felt like I was on autopilot, and I was no longer able to make promises to people that I could help them make money. And that was very discouraging to me, because me personally, I was unable to rank advance higher than platinum in that particular company. And no matter how hard I pushed, no matter how many customers I brought in, it was stagnant. I could not push it past that. And I had no one helping me. So I didn't have guidance really. And I'm not blaming this on anybody. I'm just telling you that I was working every day in my business. I was doing all the connections, and I just was not reaching the level. And I was getting very discouraged. And I went to an event back in January with a company that I knew when I got on the plane and left that event that I had to do something different, because my brain was on autopilot and it was not functioning where I particularly wanted to grow. And there's nothing wrong with the company. It's just they did not run the way I wanted to run a business. I was always the outsider. I knew that. They still wanted to do home meetings, and I was pushing back against that, because I'm not doing a home meeting. I'm not begging people to come have coffee with me so that I can sell them something after we've enjoyed good conversation, because I think that's tacky. I didn't want to go out to lunch with tons of people. That's not my personality. So I had to find what was good for me and my family, because that's why I got into business to begin with. My oldest son, was in travel baseball, and we were at a baseball field every single weekend. And we drove back and forth a lot of times, because it was cheaper back then, not today, to buy the gas than it was to get a hotel room. We would have been more rested had we stayed in a hotel room, but we would drive an hour to an hour and a half back home after every ball game. We usually had, 2 or 3 days we were at that particular tournament. And so we stayed on the road a lot. We put lots of miles on a car. And I just needed to make enough money to be able to stay in hotels, to be able to eat out, because, a tournament, you could easily spend $500 a weekend without blinking an eye. That's, just eating out. That's not even counting the hotel. So that's where my beginnings of building a business was. I just need this. So, I found that, and, my income started growing, and I just kept learning and doing my own mental health, my own mental growth in how to build a business and make it a corporation instead of just a small LLC who's just barely getting by. I was not interested in just barely getting by. But when I was not able to make promises to people that I could help them make that $500, make that $1,000, my biggest goal was to get people to $1,000 income, because I knew what $1,000 would do to our personal family and how it changed our lifestyle. $1,000 is not a lot, but when you don't have it and you add that into your budget, it changes things. So, I started asking questions and started following the people that I wanted to be like. And when I was in a mastermind, and I was down in Florida every 3 months with this group of people, and I was watching certain people grow like rockets. It's like, what are they doing? And I kept listening. Okay, this one's working groups, and this one's working reels, and this one's working TikToks. And it's like, do I do it all? Do I do some of it? Which ones do I work? And so I just kept watching these people, and I've known them for 5 years. So I knew they were the real deal when they came into network marketing. This particular leader had just lost a 6-figure income and was starting in a brand new company. So I've watched him and his wife grow over the last 5 years. And over the last 2 years, I kept watching this company, watching the rank advancements, watching the leadership boards, following the people, just going, oh my God, I don't want to be that particular company because I didn't think I could get behind it. But once you learn what's behind the company and how those people were doing the same thing I was doing in social retail. I've been in social retail for 11 years. We didn't call it social retail in the beginning, but that's exactly what it was, because I built my business using social media. So I knew about doing the curiosity post. I knew about doing the blog post. I'm really engaged over on LinkedIn and doing articles over there. I have a blog that I build and write articles on. And the podcast, which I need to stay more engaged in, because I appreciate every person that is listening. If your ears are hearing my voice, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you enjoy these podcasts, number one, I'd love to hear feedback from you, what you would like to hear more about. I hope you'll take just a minute and go over to Apple and leave a comment, or Spotify, or any of the multiple places, because we're everywhere there is a podcast platform. But leave a comment. I would absolutely love to hear what you think of the podcast and what you would like to hear more of. But back to leaders leaving companies, immediately people get butthurt. They immediately take it personal that people are leaving, like they're abandoning their team. And it's like, when a leader leaves, it's a huge decision. They're not abandoning their team. They're also making a decision that's huge for their own personal family. And everybody leaves and changes companies for many different reasons. 11 and a half years in a company is not a company hopper. But I was, like I said, I was on autopilot. I was no longer having fun. And I had to start asking myself the same questions I was asking someone else. What is it that you want? What kind of income are you looking for? What kind of experience? Are you looking for the income, or are you looking for somewhere that you can build in a community that understands your style? And that was very important for me. Is I've always been into social retail. I've always promoted and connected using social media. Facebook Messenger is where I hang out. That is my business platform, is in Messenger. And I was tired of people telling me that that wouldn't work, because I knew it did. And I knew that my friends were making a ton of money from the exact same platform that I was using. So I, talked to my husband, talked to my kids, and they was all in, all I have to have is my family support. I really don't need anybody else's. But I did make a decision, joined a friend of mine, and I researched who the upline was, because that was very important to me, to be under a very powerful team, to be with people that would lead and guide me the direction that I needed to go. And not only have they done that, they've went above and beyond. We do 3-way chats that I don't have to know everything. I don't have to do it all by myself. I just add my leaders into my chats, and they help answer questions. Something I've never seen or experienced in this industry, at least in my time in this industry. But it was just so very important to me that I had people around me that supported me and my mindset. And could guide me when I needed help. So, this is something that has just been mind blowing to me, is the conversations that I've had from people, numbers of people that were not even on my business team. They were in the same company. The things that they felt bold enough to send me a message to say to me, well, I'm going to tell you, if you send me a nasty message, I'm going to be sending you one right back. So just expect that if you feel like you can say rude things to people, be able to take it back, because it's coming. I've never done anything in this business that would harm somebody else, because I have taken the time to build a platform from the ground up. And, I've learned from Diane Hockman, who said, build an email list. And that is one of your communication skills. And I did have a very large email list. Todd Falcone told me, every single conversation, collect their information, their phone number, their address, put notes in your phone so that you remember what your conversation was about. And then next time that you chat, you can look at your phone as a reference. I did that. And I also built a card company. So not a card company, but I use a card company so that I can send my friends that I want to stay connected with a card, or I can send them a little small gift through the mail. And I use social media. I learned from so many different people. Ray Higdon, one of the big things that he's always done is he has done a video every single day for, I don't even know how many years. I know it's over 5 years now. He does a video every single day. It is just a natural movement for him because he's done it so long. But he said, anything that you're saying more than once, it should be in a video. Kind of the reason that I did podcasting, because guys, y'all can go and do a video way easier than us chicks can. But I don't mind putting my voice out there. I just don't always want to be video ready. And so I was hesitating using video because I was like, oh, I just mowed the yard and looked like absolute hell. And I didn't want to put that on video. Everybody's going, bring your authentic self. Well, yes, but I'm still not bringing my yard mowing face to my business. Not. I don't feel like I need to bring straight out of bed look to social media. That's not for me. But, Ray's always said, if you're saying it more than once, then you need to have a video, and it should be doing the talking for you. And the company that I moved to has videos that are doing the talking for me. I don't have to know it all. Even though I'm brand new in this company, the actions are not new to me. But there's loads of videos that answers people's questions. I just have them saved into my notes on my phone, send them the video, let them watch it. And it brings in customers so much easier than me trying to build the video, build the podcast, write the blog post, be the educator, teach the class. People get overwhelmed trying to do it all. And I am a big multitasking person. And I knew I could do a lot of it. Even I got tired. And so coming into a community where there's people helping you build, now I can make the promise. I can help you make money in this industry, in the company that I'm working with, because of the system that is in place is what so many people are missing. And that, a lot of companies, people just go out there and willy-nilly, they just try to, throw things together and go, oh, maybe this will get people's attention. They have no connections to people. They're not making any connections to people. And that's where you miss. That's where you fail in this industry, is not connecting to enough people. I talk to 50 people a day, easily, between Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, that never make a purchase from me. And when I changed companies, the very first person that I had as a customer was someone who has followed me for 5 years and would not join me in my previous company because that wasn't something she was interested in. But she said, I cannot wait to work with you, and I can join this company because I have looked at them before. So it's not just because you leave a company doesn't mean you have to kill that downline, because, there's rules about leaving a company and going after your organization. There's no reason for that, because there's so many other people out in the world that are looking for what you move into. So everybody wants to immediately go, oh, she's going to grow because she's going to take everybody from her old company and move them over. Will that happen over time? I'm sure it will. But that's not the only way that I have built my business, is because I've built a base, I've built a brand, and people know me from lots of different platforms. And because I was a speaker at several events, then they got to meet me through the stage from multiple companies, not just the company that I was in. So my message here is just quite simple. When somebody leaves a company, don't go and bash them, because people who are usually doing the bashing are out of fear, out of anger, that they feel like they have been, what was that one girl said, that she felt betrayed that I left. And I'm like, how am I changing what I love to do a betrayal to you? Because she wasn't even in my company. She wasn't even in my customer base. She was in the same company, but we were just friends for, I don't know, just random, because we became friends, however. But she was felt like she had been betrayed. And I'm like, okay, that's a fear factor that is not my responsibility. People can go to other companies, people can change lives, they can change houses, they can change cars, they can change schools, and nobody gets pissed off. But when you as a leader change companies in a network marketing industry, people immediately begin having accusations that are not true. So if you have questions, be very careful the ones that you ask. People leave for all kinds of reasons. And if you're angry at somebody for leaving, you need to first ask yourself, why is this triggering me? Why does this person changing what they are doing triggering me? Where's my fear coming from? Because I have found that a lot of people are just afraid that that everybody that they have with them as a customer is going to see this other person and take off running to them. Does that happen to some folks? I'm sure it does. Has it happened to me? Nope. So when I say I'm starting over, not starting over because I have all my experience behind me, I'm starting again. But people have to realize that we do not own our customers. We do not own the people who choose to use our products. I shop at Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Walgreens, Piggly Wiggly, and none of them get pissed off because I shop at the other store. As long as I keep coming back to them, they don't care. And they don't even care if I don't come back, to be quite honest. But that's not what happens in our industry. And it's very sad to watch people blow up. And the messages, like, of course, a friend of mine, I've been screenshotting some of my messages and sending them to her. And she's going, oh my gosh, what is wrong with your people? And I'm like, they're not my people. They are not my people. I had one person send me a message and she says, I have told you my concern about you moving to a network marketing company. And as long as you follow those rules, then I have no problem with you leaving. I don't even know this person. Like, we've never had coffee. We've never had lunch. We've had maybe 6 Facebook messages over probably 5 years, 3 years. I don't remember what it was. But I was like, what do you mean? Her rules. This is not about other people. This is about me and my family and what we choose to build. And the number one thing that I want to throw in here just at the end of this, because I want to keep this at 30 minutes, is it doesn't matter how much money you make in our industry, as long as you are investing it for it to grow and multiply. And a lot of people immediately take that money and start paying bills with it. The beginning, I started with $100. For if I was making 500, 100 went into my IRA, And then, of course, I moved to a SEP, and then they moved me into something else, and I can't think of the name of it. But I have an accountant that every time I make an advancement in my business, I put more into my investment. Yes, my money pays business expenses and trips and things like that, but I also make sure that no matter how much money you're making, half of it or a portion of it is going into an investment, so that this extra income is doing exactly what you want it to do, and that you want it to fuel your future. And if you're not making it automatic happen, it's not going to show up for you. But this is something that my husband and I have always done, and we've always invested our money so that in our rocking chair ages, as they call it, that we will be well taken care of. And that's something I've used my business to do, number one. So as long as that investment money is always met every single month that I have going, which is my biggest, I didn't want to change my investment from when I changed companies, and so far I have not had to touch it. The same amount goes in every month. So if you're not investing your money and making your soldiers, I call dollar bills soldiers, if you're not making them work for you, your network marketing experience is not doing the things that you want it to do. You're wanting it to create freedom, and the freedom in your life means that you have enough money as you get older and you don't have to continue working a job. Network marketing is still a job. If you're working network marketing, you're talking to people, you're getting new customers, you're signing new customers up, working with your social marketers who are, building a business. If you are in a company, you're still working. So yes, I retired from nursing, but I'm still working, but I don't want to do that forever. So I'm making sure that our financial freedom is in place, so that will happen for my family. And I want that to happen for you. Okay, I hope this was explainable, understandable, not rambling. We're at the 27-minute mark, and I want to thank you so much for allowing me. If you're still listening to me at this point, thank you for listening. I want to hear from you. I want to meet you. So come to Facebook, come to Instagram, come to LinkedIn, find me, leave me a message, say, hey, I heard your podcast, and leave me some feedback. You can also find this podcast and on the blog, which is angelabrook.com. You can also find the things that I am into right now for Angela Brook. That's no S on the end of Brook.com/links. And I hope you'll come talk to me. And I look forward to your reviews, your comments, and have an amazing afternoon. Bye, y'all.